vida. No quiero verte. Drop, 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 drop. I dropped your ass on your ass. Dropped your ass on your ass. What's the game? You thought it was gonna be easy. You thought you were gonna get my bread. You thought you were gonna play me. You thought I was a stupid. You thought real niggas wanna get with me, but know one thing. The only king I ever love is that real nigga B. Los blanquitos siempre envidian y maldicen. Yo siempre le doy sonrisa y lo sigo para arriba. Yeah, your city, I'ma stay around your city. Vibing in the city, being baddest in the city. Rick drop, I dropped your ass on.
What is going on? It's Intense Time Come Tell with another video. We talking Justice Cabaret reunion Texas part 2. Before I get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think about this video, okay? So the episode opens off with Oceans and Isis fighting. Now, Oceans could fight a lot better than what I remember her doing on the show. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like she was actually hanging in there with Isis. So they end up breaking up the fight. And shout out to Joseline. Joseline, to me, has better control of her show and more respect on her show than Allie will ever have. Because the moment Joseline got her, she said, y'all gonna shut them up right now, okay? You gonna shut up and you gonna shut up. Y'all not gonna be fighting no more with you all mother and day. We're gonna have dialogue and we're gonna fight, okay? So shut up. And then she sat down. All the girls are like, I never seen Ocean so quiet. Like, all of them were just mute because they knew had they set a peep, Joseline would have pimp slapped them or kicked them off the stage. So shout out to Joseline for that, because without somebody like that on the show, the girls will just do what they want. I mean, look at baddies, okay? Summer's pissing on buses, busting TVs open. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't really care. She would never do that on the show with Joseline. So Oceans, because y'all know how Oceans is. When she's talking, she's out of breath. After she, even though she done called out for fighting, Ocean's talking about, so all the girls came to my house. They were using me in Fort Lauderdale, sleeping in my house, driving my cars, using me all the time. And I wasn't saying nothing. You, Isis, and you effed over my sister. Yeah, right? So she's out of breath, and Joseline ends up defending Oceans. Now, apparently, where they have the rehearsals is in Fort Lauderdale. Oceans being from Florida isn't a surprise to me. She's just another Floridian disappointment. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you feel me? I was like, okay, now it makes so much sense. Oceans is from Florida. Who would have thunk it? So apparently they go to Fort Lauderdale to rehearse before, I guess, the tour and I guess the date stops or whatever. And Isis was staying with her, and they got into it afterwards. And she felt like, you know, if you needed a place to say so bad or whatever, why use her and then treat her like shit? Something to that effect. So she felt a way about that, and that's why they ended up getting into it. Do I believe Oceans? I believe Oceans, to be honest, because Isis didn't really have much of a rebuttal. It seemed like she was caught up in the feeling. Like, you were caught up, like you didn't know what to say back because you knew Oceans was telling the truth. So it made a lot of sense as to what happened. Plus, Joseline sort of backed up the story too. Now, they end up going for a second round. And this is where Isis got the best of Oceans. She was slanging Oceans like a rag doll. Oceans trying to keep up so hard, titties flinging out of her shirt, ass sagging. She's trying to do the best that she can to keep up with Isis. Now, I will say, though, that Isis, where your hands at? What happened to Big Isis? Okay? Isis, to me, wasn't fighting the same. I don't know what happened to her. Okay? What happened to Big Isis? Or is it because Miss Oceans isn't the easiest squabbler ever? I think that's what it was. Now, after they sort of chill out or whatever, Joseline ends up confronting Lexi as to why she was dressed like that. Joseline gonna get up talking about, Lexi, why you dressed like you came to bang? Because if you came to fight me, I'm ready. I'm like, Joseline, you know damn well Lexi will tear you out the frame. I don't even know why you think you funny with that. That Lexi, have you seen Lexi? She's a sumo wrestler. All she's missing is the weight. I'm telling you, like that girl fights like she been fighting all her life. Not even that. She fights like she got something to prove. Like her pimp daddy watching the next one, like, you better beat that whole ass. You better beat that whole ass. And I'm just saying, like, Joseline, she knew better. This season, Joseline knew a lot better than previous seasons because them girls they're off. Now, Lexi says she's here to squabble, but she don't have beef with Chinks. So Chinks start yelling. She like, stop making diss songs about me. Stop making diss songs about me. I inspire you to rap. Between the Cabaret girls and Akbar, they influencing y'all in Flowetry because y'all rap beefing more than Nikki and Sexy Red and them. Like every 2 seconds you hear about this person dropping a diss track, this person dropping a diss track, this person doing a rap. Like, wow. So apparently Lexi, after getting off the show, she ended up making diss tracks towards Chinks. I'm guessing what Lexi was saying, because she was trying to defend herself. She was just like, I only dropped it when me and you was getting into it. I think when the episodes were dropping, the beginning episodes of the season, that's when she started to diss Chinks. That's the only thing that would make sense to me, because that's why she was saying that when she was defending herself. Next thing you know, Lexi ends up calling out Blue Hair Girl, aka Fetish. Fetish, why did you dress like you came to rob a bank? Okay? That bitch was incognito. I was like, who the hell is that? All we seen was a blonde girl and some shades. And she was gonna write a note, a ransom note, and give it to Joseline and say, this is a sticker, I'm taking your Cabaret. It didn't make no sense to me. The wig was long, blonde, and just unnecessary. Like, Fetish looked like she was wearing a Halloween costume. I'm like, where are you going? So this Chinks, no, this Lexi like, I want her. Yeah, that girl right there, that girl thought she was my friend. She ain't my friend though. You playing both sides, bitch. Come on. Next thing you know, Fetish get up. She like, what's up? She put the shades on. Next thing you know, she started to get. Why are you putting shades on the fight? Zeus really makes you second guess yourself, because it's like, did she eat that or was she dumb? Like, I'm still stuck in between the two, because like it was cut the way that she put the glasses on, but she could have really knocked, you feel me, glass into your eye, and then what? You got permanent shades. You feel me? So it's like I'm stuck between the two, but I'm gonna lean towards the side of that was pretty dumb, because why would you do that? Literally knocked the glasses right off that girl's face. Like, Lex tore Fetish. I'm sorry. Like, it was bad. It was really, really bad. But she tried. Okay, Lexi titties, not Lexi titties, but freaking Fetish titties swinging up and down. She go round and round, trying to defend herself. Meanwhile, Lexi just swinging her around like a roly-poly. She's just going around. And the way that they were fighting, Lexi's voice is so deep, bitch, I thought it was Ballistic for a little bit. I was like, is that Ballistic? All you hear was, yeah, she was talking about me. Y'all notice how Ballistic, though, wasn't on stage. Interesting. Okay? Joseline, don't yell at me, bitch. I'm not Envy, okay? I'm not trying to be on the Cabaret. I could talk about Ballistic all day. Let me stop. Listen, Envy, you thought you was gonna be a YouTuber and hop on Zeus like it was sweet, didn't you? They started putting all videos out and they caught you lagging, girl. You was talking all that crap about Joseline. And you was like, I'm finna be in, okay? I'm finna be in with the in crowd. And they got you caught up, okay? Got you feeling that? So Fetish ends up making like a dark accusation about Lexi and about children. Do I believe it? After, hearing it a few times over and over. Maybe, allegedly, who knows? But Zeus, y'all gotta really watch out how y'all scouting these people on this show, okay? Because if she's really doing the things that she's being accused of, there's no joking about that. That's disgusting. And she shouldn't be allowed on the cabaret if she's doing something like that, Joseline, because that could be easily tied back to you. And that's the last thing you need, Joseline. You're already on probation. Okay? Next thing you know, they're gonna have put you in a mother ankle bracelet. So they started talking about wet wet, and Johnson's so fake. You talking about wet wet has a special place in your heart, but you literally popped the wet out of her mouth. Talking about, wet wet has a special place in my heart. Okay, I love wet wet. That's why I decided to have her open up the Cabaret reunion because all of the people wanted to see wet wet. So I thought it'd be nice to open the show with wet wet. And I love wet wet. She may not think I love wet wet, but I love wet wet. And I'm like, you like wet wet because we like wet wet. You don't like wet wet because you genuinely like wet wet. You know what I'm saying? Because if you genuinely like wet wet, you would have made sure she got her teeth done. You would have made sure that on Johnson's Cabaret, Texas, what was included in her contract was that she got them damn teeth fixed. And she had to get it fixed after Texas. That's treacherous. You know what I'm saying? She was supposed to come in there with brand new teeth. Instead, she was still coming in there dragging breath. You said it yourself. So it's like, I just wish that Joseline had put more time and effort into Wet Wet because she really could have been like, the next star. I'm not talking about like big celeb, but she could have been like the next Zeus star. You know how Summer is Natalie's next star? You feel me? That could have been your next star. But instead, you didn't want to invest in her. And it's sad. Okay? Now, by the way, that audience was so rowdy. They were stressing Danny and Dre out. They're like, boo! Dre like, what? Huh? They were stressing them out so bad. I low-key started to feel a little bad. I'm not going to lie. So they start to talk about Wet Wet and Dre getting into it. And like every time they play that clip of Wet Wet talking about, she got on Section 8 before she got her tatas done. I cringe every time because I'm like, Wet, just don't even mention that. Just say I got my tatas done and my kids will take care of. But don't say the Section 8 part because it's like, you could have used the money to not be a safe. Let me stop. Like for real, like oh my god, I cringe so much when they play that. So her and Drea end up piecing it up, and she gives her props when her what Pressure said. Let's give props when props are due, though. Okay, she did one of those, and she gave Danny her props. She gave Wet her props because she realized that both of them were in some way in the wrong. Especially you, Wet, because you talked about how she more of a daughter to that voodoo doll than her daughter. Okay, so they ended up piecing it out. Next thing you know, they addressed Danny why she got beef with Danny, and Danny basically doesn't care. She feels like she jumped in just because she wanted to defend her friend. She could care less about Wet. So they played the clip about how Wet got jumped at that party, and then Danny, I feel like before the reunion, she was drinking what's that little sugar thing that Honey Boo Boo and them be drinking? They be eating sketty sauce and they be putting that drink, that little happy, the happy powder. I ain't talking about that happy powder. I'm talking about the drinking happy powder. Cause the way that she was acting, she doing one of those, right? So she start acting like that, and Wet gets smashed. She's like, yeah. She walk over there with that headgear. That headgear didn't do nothing but help you lose the fight, Wet. Because she was able to sling you with the headgear and just start the thumping. Say what you want about that, Danny, but that's a strong bitch. Like, she is very skinty, but she's very, like, you feel me? Like she got some strength on her. So just take that damn Wet down like that. Like, Wet probably weighs a good amount because of the damn tatas. So it's like, that's an extra 30 pounds. And she was easily able to put her down quickly. Okay? Now, Danny, though, you was dead ass wrong for jumping. Drea was handling that fight right then and there. You did not have to jump in. Regardless or not, you don't really have a beef with Wet. You just had a beef because your friend had a beef. But you don't really have no direct beef for her. Your argument is she was unloyal, which I hate how they cut that part out of the reunion and the show because we didn't talk about how Wet Wet went to audition for Baddies Caribbean. And that's why Joseline was really mad. But she didn't even want to give the show any light and promo, even though Zeus will promo the hell out of Baddies before the Cabaret. She didn't want to give them light or promo. So she, acted as if it never happened. But that's the real main reason why they really got issues, because Wet Wet was looked at as a traitor for going to audition for Baddies. Which, Natalie, if you cast Wet Wet for Baddies Africa, I may like you. Like, imagine Wet Wet with a dashiki and her titties out. Like, that would be an ethnic, recall. That might be, it might set trends, okay, and be a little offensive. But, it may be entertaining. I'm just saying. Wet Wet said, she's not returning next season at all. And it's time for her to move on to bigger and better things. That's when the audience started getting at Danny and Drea like hard, right? So they bring out the next girl out, which is Jayla. Apparently, her and Nick had like a falling out. Nick was being super coy about the reason why they had beef. She wouldn't reveal the details as to why. Like, Joseline was trying to press her to find the details as to why they got beef. And for some reason, she felt uncomfortable to tell us. It's giving you guys were eating each other's cat and it didn't work out. That's what I get from it. Because why are you being so coy? Okay? You're being coy about the cat. You're being coy about the cat. That's what it's about, okay? That's the only thing that makes logical sense to me. The cat was getting eaten, and because of that, you decided to be coy, okay? Because you were embarrassed that it didn't work out. That's what I think, okay? So Jayla ends up coming out looking like Halloween time, of course. Y'all know that bitch Jayla always gave us spooky, ookie. It's either she gives Halloween, emo, you feel me? Very much like, you feel me? Very much like those type of vibes. I just ate some lemon head, so that's why my tongue yellow. Not too much. So a lot of y'all do a lot in the comments. Y'all do a lot in the comments. So Erica immediately gets up and gets into it with Jayla, and they start to fighting. Y'all know how Erica does. She's like, she's like, what's up? So they start fighting or whatever, right? That first round, Jayla got that. That second round, Erica got that. Okay? That's just how I saw it. Jayla like, oh, that's how you want to do it? That's how you want to do it? Erica's like, of course, I love it. What's up? Y'all know how Erica do. She loves this shit. Like, what do you think was going to happen, girl? Erica herself says she loves it. From what I get from their beef, it's given the girls are all Nick's minions. Who's in charge of the girls? Nick is in charge of the girls. That's what it is reading to me on camera, because Erica claims that something happened between her and Jayla, and then Des claims that her and Nick, Des claims that her and Nick were cool and that Jayla would always try to one up her in regards to that friendship, and she always felt like Jayla didn't like her, and ended up finding out that Jayla don't like her. See, I told you, it's that cat eating, okay? Jayla did not want Des to be eating Nick's cat. She wanted it all to herself. She wanted to purr the kitty. That's what I'm getting from it, y'all. I'm telling y'all gotta read between the lines, okay? Y'all really have to read between the lines. And when I say lines, I'm not talking about the ones that Joseline used to do. Y'all gotta look through it closely. Des ends up getting into it with Jayla, and y'all don't understand how shocked I was. I did not think that girl knew how to squabble. When I seen her start to get the fight, I was like, wow, not Des. I told y'all, like, on the after show, Des is Escalation's sister, but they might end up being kin, because y'all know that Escalation now is like, she's a fighter now. So it's like, maybe they really are related, because I didn't think that Miss Des had it in her. Even Janisha was shocked. Janisha was just, oh, wow. Des, you never told me a fight like that on the island. Oh my God. Like, she was laughing, she was snickering, because she didn't know what to do. By the way, Janisha was extra messy this reunion, and I love to see it. Like, she really lets her hair down on the Cabaret reunions, because we all know during Baddies, she got to keep a side eyes for that bitch Scotty. Okay, she got to keep a good side eye for that bitch Scotty, so she can't be with them that much. Okay, so it's nice to see her kind of let her hair down on the Cabaret reunion. So I will say that. Next thing you know, Dad sort of explains the reason why she got into it with Jayla, which is that whole jealousy situation. And then Dad's like, so anybody else want to fight me? Like, what's up? Anybody else want to fight me? So Chinks come up with her thick ass, and she says she wants to end up fighting Dez. Here we go again. Although Chinks more so won this round, Dez held in there. I was shocked. I really was. She just don't give me the fighting type. So to see her be standing on business like they say on Zeus, it really did shock me. Okay. So on the rest of the reunion, we get some of the other girls that end up coming out. They start talking more about this whole Lex and Fetish situation. By the way, Fetish, y'all, that's two different people. That girl that was on that show, that blue hair, acting all bougie and quiet and demure, that is not the same girl we got at the reunion. You can't tell me nothing. I was like, that who is that? Okay, we still need to find out who this is, y'all. And I'm talking about her. I'm talking about this girl right here. Is there this one? We need to find who this is because she's out here robbing bitches. It's some more ish because that's not the same girl that we saw in the season. So they end up bringing out Rose, and they end up bringing out Henny. Her and Hennessy end up getting into it over Hennessy claiming that she talked about her kid. Hennessy comes in this red dress type thing on. Rose had this whole headgear on trying to fight. Y'all is so unoriginal. Y'all just be biting off a wet like it's nobody's business. To be honest, I'm over Rose and Henny fighting each other. It's so tiring. It's like Scotty and Natalie. Like, we've seen it happen so many times. And clearly y'all did not have a real friendship because the way that y'all go back and forth at it. It's crazy. All right. Also, I like to put in a good side note for I Like the Way You Are. That was one of the best performances Joseline ever did. She ate and left like no grubs. Okay. She, with the feather, the whole production of it was best. Okay. Did Ricardo, choreograph that? Because I second guessed that. Okay, I need to know who put that together. I feel like Joseline came up with the whole thing. I want to know who came up with that because she really did eat down. This was a really, really good reunion. These Cabaret reunions have been really, really good. Like, I'm looking forward to the third part because it looks even more interesting. And then also it makes baddies look even worse because it's so much content with the Cabaret and so little on baddies. Okay, let me know what y'all think down below, and we're all babies.
No personal thing.